Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. You're watching the Aftershow for Queen Sugar, I Know My Soul. Stay tuned for more. What's up, Queen Sugar fans? We are back. What a spectacular episode we had. Again, my name is Shaka Smith. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong, and we are joined by a new panelist.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Miss Candy Marie, and you can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie and on Twitter at Sweet Kendora TV.
Hey, I'm your girl Anjy. You can find me on Twitter at Anjy_Scates and on the gram at Big_Anj.
And it's your girl Kels. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Urban Gypsy LA.
Wow, we have a full panel, so this is exciting too.
New ideas.
So, our episode was called I Know My Soul, but does anyone really know their soul quite yet?
Don't nobody in Queen Sugar Land know their soul except for Violet
And Remy.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, Remy, he always giving us some gems. I love me some Remy.
Yeah.
But it started off real hot. We got right back into it, which I kind of like. There was no lull. We got right back into the argument. What did you guys think about their dynamics, especially Nova for me? Because Nova had some passion.
Nova was pissed off. Let me tell you about his spiritual bay, okay? It's two sides to every coin, okay? And she was mad. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that.
I realized you do not want to cross Nova because when she's mad, that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know what? And it was just a little bit of anger, but it was also a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of hurt, a lot of unanswered conversations and questions that she had with her father. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where a lot of that came from.
Yeah, it was surprising to me. And then even Ralph Angel, there was a moment in that scene where Vi was about to speak up, where they said, "Why now?" Or "Why did you wait?" And Vi was about to speak up, and Ralph Angel, I guess in some ways he found himself because he decided to speak up for himself. What did you guys think about him? Because maybe he found himself a little bit. I mean, I didn't like it, but maybe he found himself
I think he
bit.
definitely needs to know how to speak up for himself. If he's trying to take over an entire farm, then he should be able to articulate where he stands. But I wasn't on his side. I mean, it depended on the point because I feel like everybody has a perspective and it's valid to a degree. But overall, I just feel that I don't know, he's been getting on my nerves, you guys.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. What do you think?
I think that the thing with Ralph Angel is that he's used to people looking at him as a stupid convict. I think that there is a type of, stigma that is attached to people who just getting out of prison or jail, and people, they don't think that they're really capable of a lot. And I think that he's just so sick and tired of the way his family looks at him and the way that people look at him, and he just wants somebody to take him seriously. And I kind of want them to take him a little more seriously too, so I kind of sympathize a little bit with him in this episode.
Is he looking at himself like that?
That's what I think.
Because I thought he said the dumb convict, and I was like, I'm kind of looking at you as a dumb convict because that's the way you're portraying yourself right now because you're not making rational choices. When I think about why you went there, that was a stupid move, and you still haven't proven to anyone in what ways you've grown up or matured from that lesson.
And I have to agree with that. But I want to see him win a little bit. I do. I want to see him step it up.
I think
We
everyone
all
wants
want to
to
see him win, but we also want to see Charlie win. We also want to see Nova win. And Ralph Angel, I'm sorry, yes, the will says it's yours, but you have to acquiesce and understand that you can't do this alone.
And then I feel like Charlie even tried to sit down and change her tone and give him, it's not about you as a person. It's just, are you literally legit ready to take over this farm? Do you really feel like you can do it by yourself? And he's like, I'm going to figure it out. That's
it's
not
but we also can't forget, he's a young millennial. He is what? How old is he? He's a young boy.
Yeah.
He's acting his age. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody who, let's be real with you. A lot of his developmental years were kind of taken away when he went to prison.
True.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of, in a sense, still stuck in that place that he was at before he got out because he still hasn't fully developed.
But wait a minute. I know for me which way I would go. But see, you go to prison young, you don't get to really develop. You come out of prison, no prospects. But it turns out now you own a joint farm and your sisters are paying for it, and all you got to do is sit back and work and collect the checks. That's
more
kind of
than
a millennial.
money
That's the
that way.
millennial.
I agree.
That's the
you
millennial
know,
dream.
Like,
You
why
gotta
is
say
it
it like
such
that.
a bad thing for them to jointly own the farm? Like, why
Right.
is that bad for
I
them?
agree. I agree.
Because he wants his stake in his
agree.
independence, but he has to understand that you
To
can
earn
do
it.
so much better. You first of all, you have to earn it, Ralph.
Together, yeah.
And then you would be so much better off if you worked with your sisters.
But
Yeah.
then he kind of sort of, I think he acts as if he has something to prove, because in a sense he
Yeah.
does. He has something to prove to everybody, society, his family,
Himself.
His son.
his son. So he has to prove his worth, and right now he is feeling very worthless.
Yeah, I think when you have to
definitely
prove your worth, you just got to do it rather than beg that you want the
Right.
opportunity
Don't talk
to
about
do
it, be about it, Ralph.
Exactly. And then we got a little bit of backstory with Charley, and I really like the vulnerability we saw here from Charley. What do you guys think about what she needs?
Charley.
She says she need help.
But this is the first time I feel like she's actually said that.
It
is.
Like,
Because the thing with Charley for me is she's always been that one that has always had to be the strong one. There's a challenge that's going on right now on social media where it's like, what is it called about the check on the strong one? She's always been that. Everybody's always assumed that she's always
She's
been healthy, successful. She's always had money. She's always good. So I feel like she's just tired of always being the one that everybody goes to for money, for this, for that, for that. She's like, well, I need help too.
Yeah, I've had that in my own life where I'm good at listening to problems and solving them, so everyone comes to me with problems, but no one goes, wait, are you okay?
Right. Because they assume you good.
yeah.
I think even like on the bigger scheme of things, let's say Charley represents black women, and that relationship between her and Ralph Angel is representative of the relationship, platonically between black men and black womanhood. Yeah. I feel like there is a stigma that black women are expected to be a certain kind of way. They're expected to be strong. They're expected to be this or that and the other. And black men sometimes lean on that strength, and they're able to kind of take from that and come up on their own. And Charley is saying like, no, bruh. Like, I need help too. And that is a monumental thing. Because
and even in that, I feel like what you're saying, we're expected to be strong, but then when we're strong, it's like, oh, but you don't understand
you're too strong.
You're too strong. You're too, and that's the kind of the dynamic that's
it's
happening.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
You can't win for losing. Like, what's she supposed to do,
and
Ralph?
On that same dynamic, I feel like both Charley and Ralph were people they weren't expected much from. It looks like Charley was treated in a way that was separate and apart from the other people.
Right.
But her response was to step up and make her own way. Whereas Ralph's response is like, please give me a shot,
Right.
So I thought it was an interesting dynamic.
Well, in this episode, I feel like everybody has something to prove. For me, Charley has always, in a sense, been the outsider. You know what I'm saying? She was the illegitimate child that was, on the outside. So
which we didn't even realize,
exactly,
to this point,
And when she came there, she didn't even have anywhere to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like she's always had to prove her worth just as much as Ralph Angel, in a sense, has as well.
Right.
But I kind of think Nova feels the same way. Because, and I think that is, those are demonstrations of good parenting. Because there's 3 siblings between us. And, there's always a struggle. There's never, one person that is, well, maybe there is one person that is on the outside, but it's rightfully so. You know what I mean? So there's no. There's checks and balances.
And I gotta address the elephant in the room. Y'all know they really sisters because they dressed alike today.
It was not planned.
Y'all got the nose ring. Y'all got the G. You got the black.
I put on a turban because I didn't want to look like her with my afro.
I'm annoyed, but
anyway, it's important to honor that dynamic, and I just think that they are so much stronger with the power of 3. And I feel like Nova feels hurt too.
Nova's for sure.
For me, it took away a little bit something from Ernest, because I really looked up to him as this great father. But knowing that he didn't have a room for Charley there, that with Vi that had to create that experience for her, I thought was a little. It changed the dynamic of that family for me a little bit.
Well, maybe he didn't really know how to deal with it either.
It was your child,
It's just we have, listen, I feel like our society, we're just such a hurt and broken group of people. There are so many issues that we don't know how to deal with within our families that nobody's taught us, because everybody just sweeps a lot of things under the rug and they just deal with it as they come.
Right.
So, how do you deal with that? How do you create an environment for a child that, I really don't know the backstory of how she was introduced into their family.
Right.
But it's how do you create that environment where she feels comfortable, and then your other children feel comfortable, and then your wife or whomever else? How do you do that?
Right. And I feel like that's also what we're seeing in this episode, that our parents aren't perfect either. Like, we always expect them to do everything right, but they're human just like us and trying to figure it out and navigate the same way that we are. And then this is the result of that. Like, they have all this hurt and animosity that Ernest may not have even felt that way or thought about that or anything, but they can't talk to him directly, so now they're processing it all with this Will.
Yeah, and we got that same hurt from Nova about and realizing that maybe that Will was about the rejection of her, and she felt doubly rejected as a result.
She felt rejected. Charley felt rejected, obviously, and
Ralph felt
Angel's
vindicated.
like, finally somebody cared about me.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course I had to look it up. I had to look up Louisiana law to make sure that holographic will does, will if it's in writing, dated and signed, it does stand up in Louisiana. I had to make sure. I had to make sure they were being true to what's really happening. Oh,
What does this say?
what do we got in the chat?
Angel a weak dude? Yeah, he weak.
The fact he can't work anything else because of jail. What else can he do or get?
But except for the fact that he got the farm, he gets to work it. He just wants it outright, So, or maybe there's something about, maybe he needs a concession from them to feel whole, but it's not clear what he needs.
Yeah, he just wants them to look at him as somebody that has worth. Like, even when he said, "I see how you look at me," like, have y'all ever had somebody that just looked at you and you're like, I know what you think of me? That hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when it's your family.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, how you looking at yourself?
Yeah.
Like, you inform everybody else how to treat you. If you think that you are a dumb convict, people are going to treat you like
he
that.
He has been doing better, but they have been progressively
been
treating him better. They've been having
the
his back a little bit more.
soybeans.
Nova's had his back and everything. So it's just a touchy
It's like the
subject.
moment that they're actually allowing him to step into himself, he's now rejecting
Like, be a
them.
man, right?
But
Be a
I
man.
will say he held onto the will as if he was going to wait for a right time or he was going to present it with a solution, but he didn't do anything different. He just presented it like, okay, y'all, the farm is mine. So it's like, well, you might as well have told them when you first got it. Like, why did you hold it and then not present it like, oh, well, let me just...
I have a plan.
I have a plan. Like, I still want to share the farm with you guys, but I just thought you guys should know. I don't understand what his intention was.
Well, I think he felt that he was not being true to himself, so maybe that's where we get this title, I Know My Soul, because remember he has a talk with Blue, and he's like, no more lies, no more lies.
Yeah.
And so I think that prompted him just to like kind of bare his soul and assume that maybe they would take it well, but obviously not so well. But who I loved was Vi. Like, Vi was Vi. I call her the griot because she's really like the spiritual, grounded connection. And she had some great lines this episode. What do you guys think about Vi's soul in this one?
Vi is I agree with y'all. She is so consistent, but sometimes I just I agree. I think she wants them to figure it out for themselves, but sometimes I feel like she holds on to information for too long. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes she could mediate a little more than she does, but she doesn't.
I think this is, again, a really good reality or example of art reflecting life. I think that sometimes the elders in our family are not so willing to share stories, or they're not so open. You kind of have to pick at them and prod at them to get them to come forth with things that are helpful to us in developing.
But when you see these people arguing, really, like, she sees them arguing, and I agree, like, when they were just like, well, why didn't you say anything? Like, you're sitting up there watching them argue, and I get it. They need to sort through their own issues, but there have been so many opportunities for her to step in and say, well, okay, well, this was like this, because if you think about it, when she tells the story of when her and Ernest had their issues, it sounds like the cycle is just repeating themselves.
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't have to. I think by her stepping up and saying, hey, da-da-da-da-da, this is what happened back then, rather than keeping it to herself, she's kind of allowing it to continue.
But how easy is it for you to open up your own shit and expect and tell that to people that you love?
But this is your family.
I know,
though.
but there's still pain for her in it of that self within that situation that she clearly hasn't really dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So for her to open up those old wounds,
are you talking about the
story with her and her
Ernest?
and her brother, and it's revolving around her love interest at the time, and I feel like there's pain and unresolved conflict there. So that's not always easy to open up and share with your family members.
No.
And they have to be ready to hear it, too.
Yeah.
They do. I don't think they were ready to hear it at that moment because they were too heated.
Yeah.
But I do agree that that probably is a painful story for her to share, so it's easy for her not to. But in order to break the cycle, she does have to share it so that they can, do
Heal.
different. They have to do different. They have to know what came before them,
Yeah, and I had to mark this line down because she says about Ernest and how it went down. He was right, I was wrong, but when it mattered, he was there.
Right.
And I hope that resonates for them, because at the end of the day, it's not really about the right and wrongness of it. It's about the family bond.
Right.
And so that was that one thing that I hope the whole entire family, she needs to recount that story for everybody so they can hear it. But what we did get set up in that first scene was Ralph Angel and Darla and Charley. Interesting. So, you're Ralph Angel. How do you handle that situation?
He's handling it like a little spoiled brat. I'm sorry to say. He wants to be the one that provides. He wants to be the one that she comes running to. But, Brett, you can't be that. Like, you can't be that. I'm sorry. That's not what she needs right now. She needs a steady work environment.
I was just irritated because he keeps saying, I need you to stand by me. I need you to stand by me. And it was just this feeling of what makes you feel that because she's not physically standing there, that she's not standing by you.
He's selfish.
It's like a very... It doesn't make sense.
She's saying, we need money. Ralph, what you doing to earn money? Fighting for the farm?
And I love the way she broke it down for him. She's like, this is because I loved you and I came to clean the flies and now I had to get this job and now I'm trying to keep the job.
Right.
Yeah, I was shocked when he said you can't go. That was the first time I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was very selfish.
Yeah, like...
That was very selfish.
That's why she gonna boss up, Ralph. You better watch it.
What? She slowly bossing up,
She
too.
is.
I'm like, Darla, you better get your life, Darla.
The prediction we
better
had,
get your life.
the prediction was that Darla's going to end up leaving him.
Yeah.
We somebody said that before.
I said it.
But now I can see it. If he continues to be trying to control her, then that's not good for her sobriety. That's not good for any healthy relationship. And if I was her, I would be out.
Yeah.
Like, just give me Blue, and we'll talk another time.
And if her family forgives her and she gets that money back, she'll really be out.
And what I don't like is I don't like how he's trying to use Blue against her.
Yeah.
Like, that's low.
Yeah.
Like, yes, she had her fault. She had her mess ups. And just like you don't want your sisters judging you, you don't need to do the same to Darla.
Yeah, that
And
was
that's what
real
he's
petty.
doing.
Real petty
That's
at
so
the
petty.
end. Wouldn't even let her in the house. He said, "Oh, swimming
That's
trunks."
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How you not gonna let her in the
That's why
house
she
now?
go boss up.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
And so, yeah, you see that Ralph really is lacking that maturity, even though he wants it so bad. I think we had, Kat Harlem in the chat. She said, maybe that's why Ernest kept away that will in the lockbox, because Ralph Angel wasn't ready to grow up quite yet. And even in the will said, like, hope to say this to you in person. So would you?
He never did, though.
Do you think he was, in fact, waiting for Ralph to kind of grow into himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he
Because
still
if he was
hasn't really
ready-
done that. There's so much more potential for Ralph. Ralph Angel, we love you. Like, we rooting for you. I feel like Tyra, we was rooting for you.
Listen, and I'm really rooting for Ralph Angel with your little fine self. I just want you to win, Ralph. I really do. Like, I like to see you mad. I like to see you angry. I like to see you sweat. But I want you to make the right choice. Right? I want you to be a man.
Yeah. He was really annoying me this episode, Ralph Angel. But I had a little prediction, was it last week or the week before, that, maybe Charley and Davis will get back together.
I saw it.
You
this
felt a little
episode.
bit? What do you guys think of that tenor?
I saw it and then it went away.
Yeah, real quick.
It was there like a glimpse of it, and then when she said she was gonna do the interview and talk about the divorce, then it looked like maybe it won't happen.
And didn't he look like a hurt little kid for a second? He's just like, Davis.
He don't get to be hurt. I don't care, Davis.
Still
He's
angry.
human too.
He is human, but I'm sorry. You don't get to be hurt over anything Charley does.
Girl, you know what? Say it again. I don't like this damn man. Okay? Listen to me, David. You publicly embarrassed my girl, and now you mad because she want to publicly let the people know that y'all are divorced? No, because she didn't even have a right. Like, I don't like him. I can't even talk. I don't like him at all. I don't have no respect for him. Nothing.
Wait, so you're not allowed to make mistakes in this life and then rehabilitate yourself?
It's not about mistakes. Let me break this down for you. First of all, we got stuff falling. That was my damn phone. I'm not picking it up. The issue that I have with him is that when he had the chance to be honest and tell the truth, he did not.
Yeah.
She stood by him. She fought with him, and then he publicly embarrassed her. Like, how dare you?
But sometimes you're in it, right? Sometimes you can't tell the truth. You feel hemmed up by the truth. Poor Bill Clinton, he was like...
Oh, then we
Poor
go there.
Bill
Then we
Clinton.
go there.
Wasn't nothing poor about what happened to Bill. There wasn't nothing poor about what happened to you, Bill.
So Hillary was defending, but Bill was like, "Oh crap! I didn't know it was gonna go this far." So sometimes you get hemmed up, and but now you realize the error of your ways, and you try to rehabilitate. And he's been seeming to do a good job. He's really been focusing on Micah.
Sit here and let you finish.
He brought a housewarming gift. He really seems genuine.
I'm waiting waiting for you with your response. I want to hear what you got to say.
Wait, so are you guys not buying the genuineness of it?
No, he can be genuine. He can be sorry. He can be all of that. Like I said.
So you believe it?
Sure. Yeah. You still can't be Charlie's man, Davis.
Wow.
Remy, where you at, Remy? Team Remy, where you at?
Well, we know where Remy's at. Remy got told to leave, so.
Remy was actually getting on my nerves in this episode, too.
Like, I mean, Remy was speaking his truth, but it was kind of like, okay.
That was like crazy.
Be careful there.
But Remy had a point, though. Like,
no,
let's be honest.
She is calculating.
She is so manipulative. And that's the only thing that makes me think that she might just get back with Davis because he's manipulative too. And maybe that's the commonality that they share together because she's the type of person where she will make you do what she wants you to do. And he's right. Well, are you going to do that to me?
But go ahead, Shaka.
I was going to say, we all... Sometimes we use the word manipulative and it's such a negative connotation. But people manipulate out of love. Sometimes you want your kid to eat the broccoli, and and you do it in a positive way.
Y'all men out there watching this, you better not manipulate me because I don't play none of that.
So I mean, for me, Charley is manipulative, but in a way where she's trying to uplift everyone.
I don't think she's manipulative. I think it is what they said she is. She's calculating, and there is nothing wrong with being a shrewd, calculating businesswoman.
Yeah, and using the situation to everyone, using the situation to everyone's benefit. Yes, you're divorcing Davis. You know there's some leverage in that, and you're going to do it in a way that you believe is fair to everyone involved.
And what's wrong with doing that with precision?
Yeah.
Not messing with that one. But that's why Remy was annoying on this episode because, yes, he's right. She is calculating. But why are you trying to talk down on her for being strategic about how she wants to present her divorce? Like, that has nothing to do with you at the end of the day. That's my divorce. If I decide this is how I want to do it because it's going to benefit my family, then that's what I'm going to do. Who are you?
The man that wants... Never.
They decided they were taking it slow anyway because he wasn't ready, right? Because he's still processing stuff. So go process your stuff.
He's like, I'm ready, but I'm not really ready, but I'm ready.
And then Charley stepped back, too. Charley had stepped back.
They both did because they have their own stuff to unpack still.
Right, and I'm not even sure Remy really likes Charley for who she really is at this point.
I don't think so. I think that's what's happening. He don't really
realize that she ain't the one.
They not on the same page.
I think he likes her and he's still trying to get her. He's trying
to break that shell.
He wants her back where they were with it last season. Like he wants that tenderness and that part of the relationship that was different.
So Remy just turned out to be the rebound, basically.
Pretty much.
Because that's not. She is who she is. I don't think she's gonna change.
Sorry,
not that dramatic.
One of our viewers said Charley manipulated Micah.
How so?
How
did she manipulate Micah?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I really thought Micah was very tender in this episode.
And I love when he held his mom and like that was such a beautiful because they've been at odds, so it's nice to see that bond again.
Yes, that was amazing.
And it lifted her so much. Just the love from him.
It was that moment that she needed of what do you need, and she felt like she got that in that moment.
The vulnerability. You know what I thought was a really, really strong moment, and I'm just gonna go back to this, but we always see how strong Charley is, and we really don't see her vulnerable a lot. Like, I really think that it was really good for our community as Black women to see that because we have to be so much for everybody else, and I think it was really nice to see that. What do you ladies think as Black women? Like, how did that make you feel?
The scene with her and Micah?
Just the scene, just her being more vulnerable in this episode. We saw her in different layers. Like, I need help too. Like, she's always that strong woman. Like, how do you guys feel as Black women?
I think we need help, and I think it's important that we ask for help when we need it. And if you can't count on your family, who else can you count on to help you?
And I think that's a Black man issue too, right?
Absolutely.
Because Ralph Angel's sitting there not asking for help, and he badly needs it.
He don't even know what he needs.
Begging Darla for the help, but not... It's not.
He doesn't know how to.
He doesn't know what he really needs. But I think that's kind of Charley doesn't really know what she needs, and that's why it's hard for her to ask. And because she is a businesswoman, it's hard for her to show that side. And it is hard to do that. It's hard to ask for help.
But we have to because we are human too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What did you guys think about, I guess, Nova maybe asking for help in a different way, going down to ATL? I love that. I love the smile I just got.
Everybody got to say
Mr. Dubois. Well, What I'm hoping. You want to hear my prediction?
Yeah. Well, not predictions yet. Just what do you feel? What was that sense? Was I do love that here she is in this moment where she's feeling as low as she could possibly feel right now, and she's turning to this guy.
Great. I am very girl. Get to ATL ASAP.
I think love can change everything. And if you experience that on a level like this that she might possibly have with the doctor, I think that can be healing in a lot of ways, and she needs that.
I'm excited for her. I'm glad she actually has that now because she hasn't had it for a while, and she's been kind of searching for it, I think, in the wrong way, so to speak. And now that you asked that, it just makes me think about all of us, just like even the black woman question, like it does feel good to have a man to call on when you need help. Like let that be that person that you're vulnerable in front of that you can trust. And Charlie's missing that right now. Nova's is building that, and we see Ralph Angel try to force that on Darla.
Well, Auntie Vi has that with Hollywood.
Oh, we got Ken from Chicago saying Nova needed help, so she went to see a doctor.
One of the quotes that I wrote down that I think was so powerful, it was one of my favorite quotes, going back to what you ladies just said, was love always comes first, and in choosing that is what matters the most.
Yeah,
love.
You could just take. I could just take all of Auntie Vi's lines and just have
put it in a
motivational
book.
quotes and
Post-its everywhere.
What I thought was interesting was I wondered if we're gonna get a shift from Charley, because it looks like that whole Remy conversation did shake her a little bit, and we see with the reporting, and she gets stuck on the word using. Like, is she like using the wrong people? Is she using her story, her motivation? Like, what do you guys think about that shift? Because we always see her so ready and prepared, especially in that situation.
I think it's good to not know. I think sometimes it's okay to not have all the answers. And for Charley, I feel like she's been the one that has always had the answers. So for her, it's okay to not have them.
Which has to be the scariest moment for her.
It's scary.
Yeah, I felt like it made us see that she's a human being.
Yeah, I thought that part was beautiful.
Wow,
Yeah,
right.
I
The way
wonder
they
if
shot it and everything, it made it
I didn't
relatable.
want her to have an answer.
Right.
Like, it's okay. Like you said, not to.
I was a little like, man, Charley's off her game.
But it made me think, like, what is she thinking? Like, does she feel that she's using people? Like, is that manipulative thing coming in mind? Like, I am using people.
And I think that she was, like, thinking of using her father as inspiration to do all of this, but knowing that her father didn't even leave the farm to her is making her recall and question everything.
Yeah.
And knowing she's got the answer, but the answer may not be true to what's really happening.
Right.
But normal Charley would have said what was right to say regardless. Yeah, so I wonder if we're going to see a shift in her character.
I hope so.
We better.
So,
I really hope
well, on that note, I think it is time for predictions. So let's make our way around.
Me first.
Yeah.
Predictions. I think it seems like, okay, I always go off of the previews for next time. So it looks like something's going on with Micah, but I don't know if it's still the jail time or is it also something with Charley sharing the divorce story, and I think something's gonna happen with her and Davis. That's all I noticed. That was a weak prediction.
Be bold. You can come back. You can join in.
I really hate to say this, Shaka.
Yes.
But I think there might be some kind of rekindling with that family situation with Micah, Davis, and Charley. I really think that everything that has happened with Ernest, her dad, and the farm is making her recall everything, and that was such a big part of her life, and it still is. I think she's gonna relook at that situation. And Bianca, Darla baby is bossing up, and she's taking Blue away from Ralph Angel until you get your stuff together. That's still my prediction.
This is juicy, y'all. This is juicy. Let me see if I can find some juicy. I really hope and I pray that they're able to fix their family dynamic, because I feel like right now, if they're not able to get it together, it could go to court. I really hope that it doesn't, because I think that's exactly what's them people named?
The Boudreaux and the Landry.
Like those
so
people.
true.
I feel like that's what they want. They want all of this dysfunction within their family. They want them to fight. So I really hope that they don't give them exactly what they want. I hope they're able to work it out. I just want everybody just to have some love. I want my girl Nova to go down there and get some love.
Hey,
she's on her way.
and I really wanna see Ralph Angel. You know, besides the fact that you fine, I just really want you to just man up just a little bit. Like I've been sympathizing with you, but I can't do this by myself. I need you to do your part too, Ralph.
right?
Just do your part, bro. So I ain't gotta be out here by myself.
Do your part.
Do your part, bro.
For me, and I've always said, like, I've maintained Micah is too soft, but I always said that with the caveat that I thought something more happened, because I didn't think he was actually too soft, but something more happened. It was so palpable to me. So we got some previews of that in this one. So I think we'll find out by now, mid-season finale. We're gonna find out the truth. Possibly sexual assault, but any number of things could have happened in that time. Then we got, I think Davis will get back with Charley. I think it'll be a little bit slower than we want it to happen, or at least that I want it to happen. But I think it'll happen, and they'll play the truth of it, where he really ingratiates himself. She finally gets over the divorce, and somehow has to get out of that interview.
I don't think they're getting back together.
I think they're getting back together, and I think it's going to cause some trouble for the interview, because she's not going to be able to live up to her part of the deal, and she might get in some trouble with that reporter. And lastly,
You think it was the ice cream machine?
Right.
Hey.
You feel me? That's why I don't think like an ice cream machine. That's
Oh
what's
no,
gonna get back together.
I think
But
we're
it was
seeing step one.
symbolic.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
And listen, I'm like, come on, girl, you better than
Rape-
this.
he
Don't
didn't
fall
rape
for
the
that.
girl.
Wait, what
Listen,
happened?
I agree.
He didn't rape her.
No.
Didn't?
Yeah.
Oh,
But she's
helped
vulnerable
facilitate
right
it,
now,
though.
though.
He
But-
just bought her on the
He
road
helped
for 3
facilitate
years.
it, though.
And just
And had a relationship.
and remember,
Right.
if
3
Mike
years.
if Micah has the problems that it looks like he's gonna
really.
have next episode, what does that do? It brings your parents together, and they're already at least cordial with each other. So they're gonna come together over Micah and then discover that love again. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's not gonna last though.
It's not love, girl.
It's gonna last. It's gonna last for a night or two.
That's it. I was going to say, girl, I'll tell you what it is, but it ain't love.
Right.
And I do see a little Darla Ralph Angel custody battle looming.
Really?
Because she's on the up, and he just seemed. I mean, Ralph Angel's just been whining for
Stagnant.
episodes.
He has.
He's been
And Darla's
whining.
not whining. Darla's studying Charley, okay?
Yeah.
She's like,
She
I'm
is
going to get
so-
it together.
You know, I think we've been sleeping on how smart this girl
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We have.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, and it was hard for her to have a place to be smart because she had to interact with the family dynamics. She can't really stand up to anyone because you're still outside
But
the
do
family.
we see how Darla has proven herself more than Ralph Angel has in this short period of time?
Just by
Yes.
doing, yeah.
You talk about
Just by showing
calculating.
up. Yeah.
Darla
Like,
is
come
very
on.
calculated.
And then that's one thing Vi said about Ernest. He was there, and it's like Ralph Angel doesn't know how to just be there, and so I think we see that from
Ooh,
Darla.
ding, ding, ding. Something just popped in my head. We can't also sleep on the fact that now she's starting to learn the inner workings of their family business.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She is like in there.
Yes.
Like, ooh, they better watch her.
You know, the contracts
better-
and everything.
Y'all better watch this girl.
He said the men on the show seem soft a little. I don't think the men on the show seem soft a little. If anyone seems soft, it's Ralph in terms of the ego, wanting to look, like a man that can handle his own when he's not a man that can handle his own.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the other men seem like they have, for me, the vulnerable part of being a man, which is also more brave.
And
yeah, I don't
it's
think that
so
makes you
masculine
soft.
Yeah.
I
to
don't
me.
think it makes you soft to
It's
be an
sexy.
emotional man.
Like Hollywood realizing Ralph Angel needed to talk to him, and he was like, "I don't need to be sent out by Vi to come talk to
Right.
you." Like
My
I thought,
partner.
yeah. So I did love that scene. But any more predictions from you guys?
Yeah, I want to wait and see. I don't think they're getting back together.
Wait, mid-season finale, so that's next week?
That's next
How
week.
long they gonna make us wait?
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have Greenleaf come on at some point, and then we'll have Queen Sugar return.
Oh.
So I think that's what's gonna happen. But I was pretty upset about seeing the mid-season finale.
Like, what happened?
Y'all couldn't prepare me
No,
for this.
right.
Wait, I just got here, guys.
But we want to thank you guys for joining us, especially everyone that joined us in the chat. We really appreciate it. Again, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
I'm just happy to be here, guys. My name is Miss Candy Marie. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie and on Twitter at Sweet Candora TV.
I am Anjy Scates, and you can find me on Twitter at Anjy_Skates and on the gram at Big_Anj.
And I'm your girl, Kels. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Urban Gypsy LA.
What up? We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Gary O'Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagramming @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.